About a year ago I took a look at, who say who I am first? Hey guys, what's up? It's Matt186 and today I'm taking a look at the Royal Kludge RK68 keyboard. Now a while ago I looked at the RK61 and this is the very similar, slightly larger brother than the RK61. It weighs about 600 grams and features a lot of the same things the RK61 does. And for all intents and purposes of this video, I am looking at the white one, which may look blue to you. There is an RGB variant of that as well, and I did that with the RK61 too. I looked at the white-blue one, people got confused about colors. There is an RGB one. This one is not the RGB one in this video. Really quickly, the number one thing that is notable and noteworthy to me right out of the box is, unlike the RK61, which needed function controls to enable the arrow keys, that is not necessary here. They found a way to implement the arrow keys without taking up several other keys. So while it's a little slightly larger, the arrow keys are ready to go. That way you can scroll through websites, things like that. Most people use a mouse, but it was nice to know that they found a way to implement the arrow keys in this keyboard and make it just so that you don't have to function swap commands in order to use the question mark and alt and function, I believe it was on the RK61, to act as your arrow keys. So big props to that. I like that a lot. And like the RK61, there are no riser feet on this one either. There are 4 rubber feet on the bottom that help it hold the desk, and it does have a pretty hefty weight. It is mildly heavier than the RK61, but kind of right there in that same hefty weight class for its size. Royal Kludge has also improved the ability to have a different, more broad selection among their keyboards, it seems. So if you want blue switches, they make it in blue. If you want brown switches, they make it in brown, and that's what I have also. I have the brown switch RK68 keyboard, and I'm fairly confident that these are all still Otimu switches. However, without a direct answer from them, I'm not really sure they are branded RK. They've got the 2 prongs and they can be hot swapped. Now they do give you tools in order to remove the keycaps, but it looks like you're ready to go make some scrambled eggs. And I'm not necessarily a fan of this, but it's probably because it's a little bit better for the keycaps so that you're not scratching them up. And I get it, but it's difficult to use one of those. The keycaps are double shot, but they're kind of sloppily done, and that's just being honest. Inside, where it really matters, it coats the bottom half of the key. If you flip it over and look inside, you can tell that it's coated in there. But it's not that nice professional style where it kind of fills the whole inner keycap and gives it that extra level of quality feel. Another thing to note too is that the keycaps are ABS and not PBT. When you remove the keycap, you're able to easily take the switch out and swap it, because they also give you some replacement switches in case of any problems or defects. You're able to swap your own switches. When you use the puller tool, you want to go from the bottom of the switch to the top of the switch, press it slightly and pull up gently, and it should release the switch from the PCB on the keyboard, in which case then you very carefully line up your 2 prongs and put the new switch in. For a quick reference, while I'm doing the tippity tap test, I think it's important to know I'm using brown switches. So brown switches of course sound a little different from blues or reds, which are on either end of the spectrum, reds being a little more quiet, blues being a lot more click-clack tactile. Browns and blacks are kind of in that middle zone, have more of a thump or a hard clack. Instead of a click-clack, it's more of a thump or a clack. But these are brown switches. You're going to hear more of a thumpy sound. And that's why I typed the way I do today. He lost. So while this one is not the RGB variant, it does feature all of the function control modes, which I'll kind of show throughout this video, of the different lighting effects that it has applicable to it. One thing to note too that some people got confused about in the past, if you have the on switch on and you're trying to just go wired mode USB, the keyboard may not respond to you, and that's because you need to turn the Bluetooth mode off in order to use the wired mode. Once you've turned Bluetooth mode off, the wired mode will take effect. Same problem persists here as it did in the RK61. They left that red charging light under the space bar. I'm not really sure why they are so adamant about it being there. It's ultimately not a huge deal, and there are ways of disabling that light, but at risk of damaging your keyboard, so you know, you just kind of roll with the punches. Now in Bluetooth mode, in order to connect, you have to have obviously a Bluetooth capable device that can connect to it. You'll see it in there as a keyboard, and I think on first time that I had looked at it, it didn't recognize that it was like the RK68. It just, you know, said wireless keyboard. And so as it connects to Bluetooth or USB cables, some people may be wondering, is there a dongle to it? Does it use an RF frequency? It does not. It's either Bluetooth or USB cable. So if you don't have a Bluetooth capable device that can receive information from the keyboard, you're probably going to want to go cable, because there's no other way to do it. But no, there's no dongle that you plug into the computer in order to make it wireless at that point, like we see in some other keyboards. There's actually one above me. Maybe I'll be nice and show it. Now, if you're somebody that wants to record quick macros, Function and Tab is a way to start the record for quick macros onboard on the keyboard itself. If you're a Mac user, this may be important to know that if you hit Function and S, you'll swap to Mac mode, which they're very similar to the Windows mode, but if you wanted to be in Mac mode, then there you have it. And just to be friendly, in case anybody ever needs to reference this, Function and backslash is how you're going to cycle through some of your lighting features. And Function and alligators, I don't know what the official term for them is, the alligator, greater than, less than, that's it, is how you change your colors. Called them alligators when I was in school. The alligator wanted to eat the bigger number, so it would be more full. I don't know if they still teach that. My math class was just called math. We played Monopoly to learn about the economics of the world. My poor wife. So while there are some greatly different things about this keyboard in such a small way that makes such a big impact, there's definitely a lot of similarities to the RK61. I would say that if I were going to recommend one of the two to somebody who was looking for a smaller form factor keyboard, it's going to be the RK68, and mostly just because of the fact that the arrow keys are already enabled right away. You don't have to function swap anything around in order to use your arrow keys. That's kind of a big thing to me, so that's probably what I would base my recommendation on. And the fact that it comes in multiple switch flavors, so if you're somebody that likes quieter switches and less tactile switches, then you can have that opportunity here. I almost forgot to mention the cable. I don't know if you've ever had an iPhone cable, how it's kind of that soft, almost rubbery fill-in material and how they get really kind of gross over time. This cable is sort of that same material. It's not a braided cable, it's just a rubberized kind of material. It is a USB Type-C to the back of the keyboard, almost dead center in the very back of the keyboard, to USB Type-A to the PC at 6 feet long. It's pretty nice. Anyways, guys, I hope this was somewhat helpful and useful. I'll see you guys in the next video that I do. Have a great day, night, whatever it is.